Good morning, everyone. Lori Marie here, mixed media artist in Vallejo, California. Thank you for joining me this morning. We are back in the altered book doing a background technique. I do put a little image at the end where I did put my focal points on, but my intention is to inspire you for the background, and then whatever you do at the focal points is icing on the cake as far as I'm concerned. So I would love to see what you're doing. The Patreon, let's talk about that for just a short moment. It is growing rapidly. The advantages to the Patreon platform, the benefits are, I guess that's proper English, that you get an image of the project that we're working on. You get a step-by-step instruction sheet for the piece that we're working on. And then once a month, at least, you will get ephemera or altered focal points or some kind of a grab bag benefit. I send those out. Everything is delivered to you through Patreon in PDFs. So you can download it and create a notebook with these, or you can start a file in your computer. Also, there is a numbered list of the videos and what they contain. Thank you, Murphy. So if you have more questions, let me know. It is a benefit to be able to have the step-by-step instructions to go along with the companion video, which you are viewing on YouTube. So everything, one nice little package for you. I hope you join Patreon. It's a good thing. Also, Amazon links. I will try to keep up with the Amazon links so you can locate the supplies that I am using. So, use what you have. I'm here to inspire. And with that, see you on the table. All right, here's our fun background for today. I used gesso and, well, first of all, underpants, and then gesso and some distress ink and some gelatos and some spray ink, and of course the Stabilo. So with these glorious hands, I invite you to play. Good morning. Dark o'clock here in Vallejo, California. Oh my goodness. So I do have an intention this morning. So I'm going to go through the supplies that I think we're going to use today. We're going to be playing in our altered book. I do have a beautiful picture here. I am not going to be using it. So for all of you that are concerned, I am going to take that out. Okay? And it looks like I'll be mending this a little bit. So I'm going to be playing in the altered book. I have underpants, just random pieces out of my underpant box. I have distress inks, my gelatos. I have gesso, white gesso that I'm going to be playing with, my Mod Podge. Art varnish, my baby blue brush, my silicone brush, and a magazine page. I don't have a focal point picked out. We're just going to be working on the background today. Grab a piece of fabric so I can mend this. Now this is the fragile book that I've been working on lately. So you guys have been with me as it's been falling apart. That's okay. I'm okay with that. So this is our textured foil page. So that's nice and sturdy here. So I'll be gluing 3 pages together on this side to make a sturdy page. Look how fragile that is. 3 pages together. Don't even look. Don't even look. Don't you give me a hard time this morning. Don't you even do it. I took one image out for you guys. That's all you get this morning. So I'm going to glue 3 pages together so that I have a sturdy page on each side to play with. I don't even have to close the book. That page just flops right down. There's advantages and disadvantages to working in old books. Very few books have I turned away, but I have. And then I'm going to put a piece of fabric down the center here. Hold that together for us. So I put Mod Podge on the book, put the piece of fabric down, and just put Mod Podge on top of that. Don't need the gesso yet. So I'm just going to cover these 2 pages with random underpants. Just what I had laying around. And it's nice to have different levels of underpants to get the texture as you go. So some pieces will be thicker, some pieces will be thinner, some pieces I'll overlap, some pieces I will actually put another piece on top of it to get as much texture as I can get in the foundation. Oh my gosh, it just breaks. All right, cover your 2 pages with underpants. So since I had that foil around the edge, I took the very thin dictionary paper and I covered the foil first, just to make sure that the underpants were going to stick to it. I didn't know about that foil. So I have the dictionary pages down first, and then I'll just put fun underpants on top of that, just to make sure. And the fabric in the center, I'm going to put dictionary pages on top of that too, just to give that some little strength and make sure that everything stays in place. I don't want any seams there across that fragile part. We're going for the healthiest book we can have, even though it's uber fragile. And I'll just finish covering this with underpants. Now when I put my underpants down, I make sure that there's Mod Podge underneath, and then I don't really normally add more Mod Podge to my brush, but I make sure that everything is stuck down very, very well. I don't like the loose corners and edges coming up. So we could practically leave that, huh? It's gorgeous. Okay, I'm going to bring my gesso in. I'm going to grab that silicone brush just because it's so much fun. Now my Mod Podge is not dry. I'm okay with that. It may give us some more texture, which that's okay. So I'm just going to put some gesso down generously. On both pages. Then I'm going to take a piece of, this is actually a magazine cover, so it's on the sturdy side. I'm going to take that and push that down onto my gesso firmly. And remove it. We've got some gorgeous texture there. Now we can see some of the underpants again. Yay! Oh, we pulled some up. It'll be fine. It'll dry down. All right, I'm going to let this dry and we'll revisit that in a few. I grabbed my coffee while that was drying. So an added bonus when you put the gesso on the Mod Podge, while the Mod Podge is still wet, as the gesso dries, it will develop some cracks, which I think is really fun. And I'll keep this, the magazine page with the gesso on it, I'll keep that for another background. So let's go in here and pick a color. We're going to go with this turquoise, which is very fun. And we're just going to put some of it around. And then I'm going to add some of the art varnish. My hands are already delightfully gooey this morning. So just dribble some of that around. And then we will spread that around. Now one thing that the art varnish does is it seals this distress ink in there for me so that I don't have to worry about that later on. It's not going to move. The art varnish will keep it intact. Beautiful beginning. It goes in those cracks nicely. And we will let that dry. So while that's drying, I want to go over an article with you. This is a book, Steal Like an Artist. 10 Things Nobody Told You About Being Creative by Austin Kleon. It's an amazing book. The name of the article is Nothing Comes From Nowhere. Steal Like an Artist. I love that. I think I read the book and then I gave it to my sister. So he talks about good theft versus bad theft. Okay? So this is when you do steal from another artist or you are inspired. I choose to say inspired. Okay? So you would honor their work is under the good theft, and you would degrade their work, and that's under the bad theft. So we're going to go through the two sides, okay? You can study it or you can skim it. Steal from many, steal from one, give credit to that artist or plagiarize, transform it, imitate it, remix, or rip off. And so this is when I'm always constantly saying, I'm for inspiration. So I'm on this column for you. Okay? And then to be a good artist and to be a good thief, which goes back to being a good thief on this side, where you honor and study and steal from many and credit that artist and transform it into your own and remix it there again into your own art. You will need curiosity, kindness, stamina, and a willingness to look stupid. I have this one down. I guess I have all of these down, but I just wanted to share that with you because for me that's very, very important. We do steal from each other, or I call it we are inspired by one another. So Austin Kleon, if you can get your hands on that book, it's pretty fun. Okay, back to our inspiration. So I'm going to bring in some well-loved coarse sandpaper, and I'm just going to hit the ridges a little bit. Can you see where I'm sanding that down? Bringing the ridges back up so we get some fun background, okay? I'm just going to do that to both pages. Alright, so hopefully you can tell the difference. This is the before, and this is the after, where I sanded it down. I'm going to do that to the other page. It's almost light enough now where I can turn off the artificial light, which would be nice. I dug in a little bit deep there. We're calling that texture, right? Wipe the dust off. Stay down. And I'm going to bring in a second color. I've chosen a bright spiced marmalade for my second color. A little bit of varnish. And watch that transform before our very eyes. I have some of the blue Distress ink on my fingers, so it's kind of smudging it. It's okay. I like it. Ah, beautiful. All right, let this dry. All right, I think there's enough natural light now. So you can see some seams from the underpants. And I'm just going to go in with the Gelato and pick those seams up. This is where it's nice to have different layers in your underpants. Now that sounds funny. It's a very gentle, subtle page. Kind of out of care. I like it though. So I'm kind of staying with the background colors. And I'm just playing. Gorgeous, huh? I've been playing a little bit with the focal points. It's always the hard part. Alright, I'm going to sit with this for a minute. That's beautiful. Oh gosh. You know it. Bringing the Stabilo in for some more noise. So the gelatos are smeary enough that the Stabilo will just glide. Okie dokie. I'm going to bring in a rubber stamp and my Stays On ink, black, and I'm just going to put some ink on some of the dots. Nice. Just looking for a little bit more noise in the background. Nice. Making me happy. Now it's looking more like Lori Marie. A little grungier. It was just so tidy, my goodness. All right. Now, bring in some pink. Oh, yes, we will. Now I want to bring some more of the turquoise back in. Now I'm looking for nice color. All right, I have to bring the Stabilo back in and darken these areas because I lighten them up with the Gelato. I can hear the spray inks calling me though. Lori Marie, don't forget about the spray inks. That mended nicely down the seam, didn't it? I think so. Spray ink is always unpredictable. I've grabbed crushed grape, so we shall see what happens. I like it. Let's let it dry to see what it really looks like. Oh, should we close the pages? Oh, let's. Why not? Ooh, okay. I'm gonna let it dry. Okay, we could stop there, but I'm not going to. So I'm grabbing the London Blue Shimmer Spray, and I'm going to put some down on my workspace. Can you see it? I think you can barely see it. There we go. And since I don't have a lid handy, I'm just going to take the lid off my art varnish here, because it's handy. And I am going to put some circles on here. Well, it's feeling more like me all the time. So those, the shimmer inks, I have really enjoyed. Those were a good investment for me. Good. Little smudge there. And so what? We are okay with that. Are we not? I'll wipe that up with a paper towel because it's too delicious. All right, I'm going to let this dry. I'm going to take my Stabilo back in around the edge. Just frame the 2 pages in. And I am calling this background complete. So if you're here for the background techniques, we are done. Ta-da! Go create, go play, go have fun. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of sandpaper and just scratch this up a bit so it doesn't look too fixed. I don't know. Ready for focal points. Go create, go play, go have fun. Okay, and here is my 2-page spread with my focal points on it. I love it.